Let's get started. Hello, IceMen maniacs. There's less of you tonight. You got to make up for the ones that aren't here. Come on now. It's a cold night, but welcome to IceMen Live, presented by Coors Light at PFO Brady's. I'm Sean Pooley, and I'm joined by my esteemed co-host, Jim Riggs.
Hi, Sean. How are you? Hi, everybody.
I'm doing great. How are you, Jim?
What?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Well, we will try and get you on the road to your Steelers game as quickly as we can. Any prediction on that game before we get started?
The Pittsburgh media has no trust in the Steelers. They were predicting Steelers 11, Titans 8.
Oh, what's your prediction? What's your bet?
Steelers 11, Titans 8.
Really? Wow. You're going with
I
that.
have no faith in the Steelers either.
All right. Someone's getting a safety at some point then, huh? And, of course, we are joined by head coach Dwight Mullins. Welcome back to the show, Coach.
Hi, guys.
It's great to have you back up here.
Yeah, we missed a week, so it's good.
Yeah, we did miss a week, and a lot's kind of happened since then. Just kind of tell us what's been going on with the team, and what's your thoughts on the status of everything right now? No? Okay, like a State of the Union type
We
of
could
draft.
use the cliche we came up a bit short.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
It
was going to be like a State of the Union thing is what I was anticipating.
Well, I mean, obviously it's been a difficult 10 days. I mean, we've gone from a tremendous start now to finding ourselves at a 500 hockey team, and obviously some transactions and some different things that we're trying to sort out. A difficult road trip for us, and we look to bounce back here on Wednesday.
As you mentioned, it hasn't been the best 10 days. What do you guys have to do to get things kind of back in the right direction?
Well, I mean, obviously, I think that, there's been some different scenarios each night in the past 4 games that have caused us to be on the short end of things. I felt like, heading into the third period the other night with a 2-1 lead in Elmira, we were in a good position to win the hockey game. We made 2 critical mental errors, I felt, and the game gets away from us. And so it hasn't been one consistent thing really overall. It's been a couple of different things at times, but we've worked here in the last couple of days on talking about some different things that'll help us here a little bit, and we have to be on the same page, especially in our own zone. It seems like at times we are not really understanding where we need to be at different times, and we want to clean some of that up.
All right, perfect. Obviously cleaning up the own zone play. We saw the power play really get off to a great start on Friday night. Just talk a little bit about what you thought got everything going there for you guys Friday night on the man advantage.
Well, I think obviously it plays a big part in games, whether it's power play or penalty kill. And the other night we were able to work on a few things during the day that helped us out a little bit. At the same time, though, I felt we executed really well at the time. We went through the one game there and didn't even have an opportunity on the power play at all. So, different things like in circumstances like that happen. But all in all, it's been effective.
All right. You mentioned some of the transactions that have taken place, obviously with Patrick Kennedy and Cal Heater, among others, leaving the IceMen. How do you feel each of those transactions kind of impacts your team, and what do you guys have to do, and who has to step up and kind of fill those voids left by Kennedy, especially?
Well, I mean, I think it goes without saying those 2 players in themselves have played big parts in our team up until this point, and obviously, it forces everybody else to take a little bit of a bigger role with regards to the hockey team. I mean, but again, these things happen, and you have to be able to, again, have guys step in and do their job and take responsibility as a group. And again, you look for that continuity that we're still trying to find.
All right, and you mentioned the continuity. Is some of that just getting guys more used to playing together? Obviously,
No, I think I really think it's playing more responsible and playing harder. I think that on different nights we need key individuals to definitely step up and fill some roles for us more on a consistent basis. And we've talked about that as a group. And I felt like the other night we had some really bad things happen to us early that were really out of our control a little bit in Elmira. Outside of that, though, I thought we had a really strong effort. I felt like again, the score really wasn't indicative of the play. And so I look at those types of things, and again, we have to find a way to get on the positive side of things here, and we're going to have that opportunity on Wednesday.
All right, you mentioned Wednesday. Wednesday's opponent is Greenville. They'll also be playing here on Sunday night. What have you seen from the Road Warriors so far this season on tape?
Well, I haven't seen much. Obviously, we've had a busy schedule here, so we're really working on just really ourselves. But there'll be a well-structured team. They're a well-coached team, and they always have a strong group of forwards. And I look for it to be a challenge for us again. But again, I like the practice we had today. I like the attitude and the environment that we have right now. And again, a win kind of helps us get moving again in the right direction.
Absolutely. Good points, and obviously, like you said, it really did feel there in person, like Friday or Saturday night's game, like the score wasn't indicative of the final outcome. Also there on Saturday and Friday was Ottawa goaltending coach Wick Walmsley. He had the chance to stop by. Just talk a little bit about what Chris Drieger and Brandon Comm kind of learned from him, and what were some of the things that they were working on.
Well, I think anytime that you can have another extra set of eyes, in the stands, it really helps. And I think for those two players in particular, just having somebody that can kind of be a guide to them with regards to some little things that they can work on. We work more on team process. There's certain things that Ottawa does and Binghamton does that that we've incorporated here now with regards to our goaltending and communication with defense and things like that. So those types of things were really good. I felt again, having a guy like that, I think it just shows that there's hope for players, and it's good to have around. And for a coaching staff, it's good to have somebody that can sit and have a little bit of a different perspective too, and especially in between periods.
Nice. Did he give you, was also something different for those guys, having someone that could focus on them position specifically? Was that something that you found to be beneficial, especially for
Well,
Chris?
I think anytime, you're in a situation where you can have somebody that can, give you that one-on-one attention, it can do nothing but help. So, I think it's very beneficial. Both guys were very receptive, and again, I think it's just a part of the affiliation process that can only get better and better as we move forward.
Absolutely, and I had a chance to sit down and talk with him. He seemed like a great guy. One of the things that he said that they were working on is really cutting down on the rebounds. Is that something that you've talked with those guys about?
Well, I think that at this point in time, I haven't specifically talked with them about any of that. I think it's been more of a team perspective here, especially lately. So, I know that, again, where that puck ends up and placement of that puck can be critical to your hockey team. And, I'm sure that it's an area that they'll focus on.
All right, sounds good. Switch gears to talk about the other two games this week, too. A couple of road games coming Friday and Saturday. Obviously, busy stretch here with 4 games in 5 days. How does your team, deal with such a hectic schedule there?
Well, I think obviously at this point we just take it a day at a time here, and Wednesday night's an important game for us here back home, and it's nice to be back home. So, we're looking forward to hitting the ice Wednesday night and getting back on track here. And the weekend will be our first opportunity to play 3 games in 3 days, and it'll be a challenge. But at the same time, again, at this point, we're really focused more on Wednesday more than anything else.
All right. I know you said you're focused on Wednesday. We are going to touch on Saturday really quickly. It'll be your second time seeing Toledo. What did you see from them in the first game? And obviously, they're coming in hot. How do you kind of derail their momentum coming in?
Well, obviously they're rolling along right now at this point. I felt like it was kind of interesting that the time that we were in there, it was sort of our first opportunity. We played back-to-back nights, and again, I just felt like we weren't ready to go right from the start and fell behind and chased the game. But again, looking forward to things. It's more about how we're playing consistently, and it's more about what we're going to do Wednesday night, not so much what we're going to do on Friday and Saturday.
How do you feel about playing in those Riddler jerseys on Saturday, though?
Well, I think that would be pretty interesting. I mean, I think it's a pretty unique opportunity, and I don't think that they're the prettiest things at all. But I think it's a great opportunity for us to do something that's kind of unique and kind of different. So I'm looking forward to it.
Have you and the team kind of embraced the villain role that you guys are cast in on Saturday, then?
I don't think, Sean, we've given it a whole lot of thought.
Fair enough. Final question, for me anyway. Wednesday is also the retirement party for Josh Beaulieu. You obviously coach with Josh right now and had the chance to coach against him as a player. Just talk a little bit about, what are your thoughts on him as a player, a coach, and a person?
Well, obviously, he's a very character person, and those attributes came through as a player. And again, I never was Josh's coach, but I did coach against him, and he was always an effective player. That we had to take care of, and he always, was a team first guy. And I think that, he's brought that same type of approach to his coaching. I think he's very receptive. He listens a lot. He works very hard. He's very diligent at what he tries to do. And, I think that it's been great for me to have somebody like that really can handle some of the other responsibilities day to day that, sometimes can bog you down from certain things as well. So, I think our relationship has been great. I think we work well together, and again, I'm very excited for him and for his family for this coming Wednesday.
Well, it's certainly going to be a great event. I think everyone's really excited about that. I did see Josh kind of being more of the on-ice presence in the pregame skate on Saturday. Did that allow you to kind of sit back and just kind of watch things from more of an outside perspective and kind of gain a new perspective on it that you wouldn't have had if you were on the ice?
Well, I think that one of the big things of growing and learning to be a coach is taking. Did you see that?
I did.
Yes.
I did.
That'll be on the blooper reel at the end
That
of the
is the
season.
first. That was right in.
Yes, it was.
There was no rim. That went right in.
Yeah. Kind of like my beer pong shots, but not nearly as good.
Well, getting back to it, one of the big things about being a coach is having responsibility and being allowed to, have certain roles and responsibilities within the hockey team. And, again, it comes from trust, and it comes from, again, we're on the same page. So, the opportunity for him to be able to spend time and take responsibility for areas like that, I think are real important for him and his development as well.
Well, that's all I had. Did you have anything to add, Jim?
Well, obviously you coached in this league last year, Dwight, and now it's been a month into this year. Any comments regarding changes in the league, positive, negative, that you've seen? Obviously you haven't seen every team, but you've certainly played enough games. I think you might be able to comment on the league.
I think that the level and the games are being played at probably the highest level they've been played at since the league's been in its inception. I'm really impressed with the quality of players and the types of teams that are put together. And again, it's a challenge every night. And I think that what that relates to is, I think, an entertaining brand of hockey for fans. But at the same time, I think it's a great, challenging developmental stage for players as well. And again, with the fact that teams are becoming limited and leagues are becoming limited, it's only going to increase the talent pool that are in these teams. And again, it's going to become that much more of a better product.
I'm going to throw a curve at you here. It has nothing to do with the ECHL. I read today that the Southern Professional Hockey League is going to have a game coming up this week with 2 women referees. They're both qualified officials. They've refereed at a number of different levels. As a coach going into that situation, would you do anything different?
Well, I'd probably say I'd start out to watch my language, but I know once the heat of the battle gets on, that might fly out the window. But no, I don't think so. I think that obviously with the female presence in sports, and especially in our sport, nowadays, I think it's great to see us try to incorporate and bring new things and bring new people and push different boundaries. And I think that it's exciting. I don't think that it has any effect on on any part of the game at all. And I think that, that's been proven with what the women's hockey has done for hockey, and what it's done for the sport of women's hockey is incredible. I mean, to see the level of hockey that was played at the Olympics this past year between, especially the United States and Canada, I think was phenomenal. And it's something that probably 10 years ago nobody ever thought you'd get really excited about, but I know that it generated a lot of interest in both countries, and I think that's fun to see.
All right, it's now time for you to ask Coach Mullins your questions. I'll come around with the wireless mic. Let this one dry off.